You've gone off again. But you keep pressing something, you're going to get told off if you're not careful. Well, that'll be nothing new anyway, will it?
I'm used to that. Yeah.
Just be very nice to him, because otherwise he can soak down these skids, which are on these boughs off a tree. On one occasion, a friend of ours was given a large Cerney tree, like this same. And he had a trail very similar to this one. And he said, how are we going to get it off? Because we haven't got the skids strong enough to carry it. Where they had the tree, very tall, about 5 foot down. And so we went and consulted an old timberman. He said, oh, it's very easy actually. He said, what you do, he said, is you don't take the log to the trailer, you take the trailer to the log.
Entirely up to you. Just get a one. If you want to go happy one, which is what's so lovely about staying in the bar. It's just a nice feeling. Oh, stop! Oh, yeah, we're fresh.
To keep you good people in Gloucestershire and our surrounding borders safe. So we really appreciate that we've now got the funding. It does take, if we put an order in for that Volvo truck, it takes about 2 years to arrive. They are bespoke built. The equipment on it is bespoke to Gloucester Fire and Rescue. You don't just go down. It will wade into 1.5 litres of water. We use it to take nurses to homes in flooding where we have vulnerable patients and they need to get to the patients. We use it for running out hoses, getting across moorlands, all sorts of things where there's restricted access. So we've got the very oldest vehicle here today and we've got the very youngest. Now if you'd like to go and meet the real life vehicle, then more than welcome, more than happy to welcome you. On the train works I will probably talk to you later. I hope you have a good day. Please stay hydrated. Please use something.
We came from men at home in Shropshire. They used to come and visit us about once a month because we had a
motorcycles. They started off, it's got the cycle. We look at the last one, it's really exciting to talk about. We got the news. I really see about them. We look at the market, we think it's a shop there, we were really something to do with it. It's very good. This is a 500 bill cylinder. What's the one for cylinders? Except. And very, very popular sport. Personally, I prefer the older Japanese bikes because most of them are covered in plastic, you know, and you can't see what you are. But the triple and just Honda, beautiful. I like the old system of that. We've got a couple of other Hondas in here, but we start Honda's Honda Range, or the most sought after Honda, CPX, which was a 6-cylinder across the frame. I never hung up the latest CPX 4. After what he said about you yesterday, this the gentleman's a big Honda. The gentleman's a big Honda collector, drive collector. So this is always one. Okay. How long did you make the CPX?
78 was the first one, the early Z models, and to the A's and B's, which was trying to prepare and went on to about 87, so only about 10 years.
They're very collectible, they're very expensive. What's the catch?
What's the catch?
That's a very collectible, and you don't see them very often. They usually in people's front rooms. You don't want them front room and one in the dining room. About 6 years ago, we had them on bikes a long time ago, but they used to be very well here. As I already mentioned before, they use the video engine, and this was the
You're going to any more of those?
Bristol Tramways Company, and it eventually became a ferry bus working on the farm, and was known as the Strawberry Bus, acquired for preservation in September 1984. And following on from that, we have Bristol K-Type, so Bristol K6A, JHC 802, dating from 1946, although the bodywork is actually of a different age. It had second-hand body fitted in 1957. It was always used in Bristol as a police officer, not quite sure. Following on from that is the iconic Bedford OB, the Ducal Vista version. Both these OBs date from 1949. And yet another royal blue vehicle. We're inundated with royal blue coaches this year. LTA 750, beautifully restored in the colours of royal blue. And it's difficult to believe that at one stage this was a chicken shed. So it just shows the work that goes into restoring these vehicles. So the first one, the bus version, that's Angus, and LTA 750, that's Doris. She spent most of her working life down in Wentworth. And as I said, became a chicken shed before being restored into the classic royal blue livery. So the bus is now leading off back to the bus and coach section. So we've got the stagecoach Dennis Dart in front, Flaxen body, and the very eye-catching Bedford here, welfare bus. A lot of local authorities have vehicles like this, so it's nice to see the ones actually being restored, even though it's going to be more or less a camper van, but it's still with us. That's the important thing. Another line with Bristol RE. And we've done very well with REs this year. It's quite a good display. All thanks to our illustrious section leader, Ashley Gardner. I didn't know you're still here. I'm just watching the drivers of some of these vehicles, and a lot of them are actually not the drivers who own the vehicles. So it's quite interesting to see who's driving what. People are chopping and changing. And here we've got one who is being driven by its owner. Thank you.
have the lovely sound of Gardner engines. State box RE coming out here. I had a drive with this one yesterday. Very, very interesting thing to drive. Very nice. And the former Swindon Corporation, Thames Down Transport RESL, the short version here, in the colours of Extravaganza. And then the longer version here, the RELL, I said it's under restoration, so shown here in undercoat. Look forward to seeing it finished, hopefully here next year. The driver of the Ulster bus, city bus, are we going out now? Passed his test 2 weeks ago, so hopefully he'll manage to get to the exit. No problem at all. And the driver of the bus following has been driving buses for quite a few years. Bless him. Cerney driving the Stradari Greeks Bristol RLH 2062. Avis Tomlinson there with the AEC Reliance, dedicated to her late husband. And the environment in the colours of Stagecoach. A lot of people locally might think this is actually still in service. It isn't. Now privately owned. And we have Potterals there. They've got 2 coaches with us this weekend. It's been the smaller of the 2. And one of the Western National Bristol MWs in the colours of Royal Blue. Western National and Southern National with the bus operating divisions down in Devon, Cornwall, bodywork by Young Kia. And then our furthest flying exhibit arrived on the ferry from Ireland yesterday. Bristol VR and Wilson Dorset, this one with a Gardner engine. Wilson Dorset was a member of the National Bus Company. It's hived off from Hanson Dorset, the original company, and when deregulation occurred in the 1980s, this is the colour scheme that was used. Motor show exhibit, West Midlands Leyland Titan. And London Transport Routemaster, built by AEC. This would have been, as I say, quite an unusual one. Most were AEC engine, this one was a Leyland engine, but a lot of them were re-engined towards the end of their life with Scania units. Leyland Tiger, Whittles of Hiley. Beautifully restored. Come and have a look at this one, it's lovely. And then Bristol VR. This one's unusual and it's actually a low height version. If you compare the front of the one coming around now with the one a couple of buses behind, it's slightly shorter, so slightly lower. And it's also unusual and it has a Leyland 501 engine here. 56 GUO, the Bristol MW. Originally with Royal Blue. Then we have a dual door Bristol omnibus city bus. This was used in service in the city of Bristol. Most of their vehicles had dual doors for union reasons. And following on, we have the 1940 Daimler from Coventry Foot Transport. Of course, Daimlers were built in Coventry, so a very local vehicle there. Lovely to see it from the Roger Burdett collection. And these 2 following on from the Mike Walker collection, the Bristol Omnibus Vehicle collection. lead vehicle is a Bristol low-decker, and the following one is a Bristol K6A. So the low-decker 1959, the K6A from 1946. And it quite happily trundles along at around about 36 miles an hour. I know from experience. I've driven it from Swindon to Weston-super-Mare. Very soon. And the last two on the main display here, KGM 433 and LTA 750, two examples of the Bedford OB. We pride ourselves here at the show that we always have OBs in the display, but they are becoming more rare to see in private ownership. A lot of them are being bought by coach companies for promotional work, for wedding hire, that sort of thing. So to see them on display is lovely. These two have come all the way from Blackpool for the weekend. So we're very, very grateful to Billy Brayford and the missus. And lovely to see these two. I still can't believe the one behind there, the royal blue one, used to be a chicken shed. As ever they used to be.
think it is.
Yeah.